and welcome to this week's Oracle card reading for week commencing the 22nd of January. Thanks so much for joining me this week. This week we're going to be using the Soul's Journey Oracle cards to see what messages the Divine has for us and how we can go through our lives this week. So we'll pull 3 cards to symbolize the beginning, the middle and the end of the week. So there are our 3 cards. So let's check out what's happening for us at the beginning of the week. The first card that comes up for us is Pride, and it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. I'm feeling that this is pride for, perhaps we need to have more pride for the work that we do. Perhaps we need to show more pride to ourselves for the good work that we've been doing, for the hard work that we've been doing, and have pride in what we do. And it says here, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. When we see ourselves within each other, it's often a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. So some days we may have days where we feel a bit scattered or a bit overwhelmed, and that can often be reflected back at us within situations or perhaps even people that we come across. So it's important that we view ourselves in a way that we want reflected back at us in some way, because sometimes that's there to teach us a lesson. So it's a bit of a more complex message I'm getting here for the beginning of the week, but the main messages are, it's about having pride in the work that we do, having pride in who we are, and learning how to love ourselves more and to give ourselves that pat on the back that we deserve, and to just be less critical and less harsh and more loving and open towards ourselves and then others. So as we move into the middle of the week, the card that comes up is Loneliness. And it says here, I know that I am never alone. For whatever reason, we may feel that we are a little lonely in the middle of this week. Perhaps we feel lonely in terms of where we physically are. Perhaps we're physically alone. Or we could even be in a room full of people and still feel that lonely feeling, that perhaps we don't fit into a certain group, or perhaps we just feel that maybe people perhaps don't understand us in the way that we would like. But it's so important to remember that we are never ever truly alone. We have our guardian angels right beside us. We have our spirit guides. We have passed over loved ones that potentially could be helping us on our journey. And so it's important in the middle of this week, if we do feel alone, that we reach out to God, to the universe, and just ask to be filled with that feeling of completion, that feeling of wholeness. Because when we feel whole within ourselves, there's no room for emptiness, there's no room for loneliness. And we could even reach out to someone we love, maybe our friends or family, if we have them in our lives, and just be honest about the way that we're feeling in the middle of the week. And as we move to the end of the week, the card that comes up is Surrender, and it says, I can release my need to control. For many of us, we like to feel that we are in control of our lives, especially if we've been through traumatic experiences in the past, or we've been through situations that were beyond our control. It can often lead us to wanting to control situations, not in a nasty way, but just so that we feel safe. But this card at the end of the week is saying that we have to also learn when to surrender and also when to be receptive. So it's finding that balance between, yes, being assertive and taking control of our life is great, but there are other times that we need to surrender our worries, our fears to the universe, that we need to ask others for help, that we need to invite people into our lives that we feel could help us. And that is a very clear message for the end of this week. So it looks like we're having a lot more self-love, a lot more pride in the work that we're doing. If we feel lonely, we must reach out. We could pray, we can meditate upon that. And then at the end of the week, we're just releasing, we're letting go. And we're saying to the universe, look, I'm letting go of this situation that I can no longer control, and I'm open to suggestions, basically. So I hope that the reading this week has made sense to you and that you've enjoyed it. I so appreciate you joining me here every week. And until we speak again, I'm sending you so much love. and have a beautiful week. Lots of love, Alyssa.